This is not a test. Don't expect to be impressed. Put on your life vest. Sit down your armrest. It's time to stray from the grind. Don't take my hand, 'cause you'll find no peace of mind. Side quest.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Authors and Dragons Side Quest, the episodes that occur between the episodes for which the podcast is named. I am Drew Hayes, and joining me today are Joseph Brassey, Robert Bevan, and Steve Wetherell.
Hello.
Hello, friends.
And today we're going to talk about a theoretical changing of the seasons. And I say theoretical because as I sit here at 7 o'clock at night, it's 93 degrees outside. But theoretically, the world is slowly turning to autumn and fall is approaching. And so we thought it would be a fun time to kind of look ahead, talk about all the fun events we're looking forward to, maybe sprinkle in what we're working on, you know, the little tidbits that keep y'all coming back and listening. But yeah, it's a pretty loose concept, this episode.
It is definitely fall in England.
Oh, has the long dark arrived there already?
Yeah, just instantly, finger snap. It's like, fuck you, it's September 1st, you've had your sunshine. Bring on the melancholy.
My walk today and yesterday, at the end of it, my t-shirt was only half drenched in sweat, and that's dark days are coming.
It's we haven't like the torrential downpour that basically is Washington State from like late September until June is not here yet. It's still sunny, but it is getting colder at night. I think last night it was down to 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh.
Well, good for y'all. It's still fucking hot here. I got nothing changing in my area.
I wish I lived in a hot country.
You say that until your first heat stroke.
Yeah. Well, no, your heat stroke, I mean, that sounds not too bad. You're unconscious.
It's a nice way to die.
I have a buddy who went to Georgia for a week in the summer a couple of years back, and one of the things he said is like, 'cause he's from Washington, he's like, I went to Georgia and it broke me. He's like, it was 99 degrees all the days I was there and 95% humidity, and ever since I came back, I have never been warm. It's like, I have never been able to get warm again since. He's like, it broke my internal temperatures.
Maybe that's what's happened to me. Maybe I went to a decent country with decent weather, and my body has just never accepted slumming it again.
Nobody believes you, Steve.
Just because everywhere you go, you always bring the weather with you, doesn't mean the same is true of everyone else.
I always bring sunshine. That's what people say.
Sunshine and a cooler.
Yeah.
It's a combo.
It's not figurative, it's literal. You're some kind of weird elder god.
That guy's an asshole. But it sure is sunny when he's around.
You know, infinite sunshine and beer wouldn't be the worst divine powers.
Yeah, you could just go tramping across the globe like some kind of folk legend.
Bringing the
Sunny Bud Light.
I caused drought.
Were you
and
hoping for some rain
and
today?
Enjoy it.
Tough shit. Bob ruins the rainforest.
You have a like, it's great the first time he's there, but then he just stays and stays and stays, and things get drier and drier and drier, and eventually it's like, please leave.
He gets drunker and drunker and drunker.
Yeah. Speaking of aggressive drinking, Robert Bevan, by the time you're listening to this, will have done a Shingles readathon challenge for Shingles the Movie fundraiser. Although I guess in theory, you're starting it on Saturday. This goes up on Wednesday. He says he's gonna read until the money runs out. So
he may still
or
be reading.
until I pass out.
You want to tell folks what you did on this one, or what you're planning to do?
Well, I don't see the point. I'll already have done it.
Well, in case they want to go check it out on the YouTube, where I'm sure we'll have loaded it.
Yes, I had a great time. I The
Definitely
plan
still
is-
alive.
I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah. The plan is I'm going to read Shingles a chapter at a time and continue doing so as long as at least one or a combination of people donate $10 per chapter to the Shingles the Movie Indiegogo campaign, which is still going on. And
We're going to get this movie made, or Bob's going to die trying. I tell you.
yeah,
If we don't succeed, all surplus money goes toward funding Bob a new liver.
thanks guys. If we couldn't get the Shingles movie
Yeah.
made, I don't hold much hope about this liver money.
That'd be great if we did fund. It was like, well, all right, we made it. We're gonna get the movie. Good luck on your liver, Bob.
Yeah, it's gonna be the worst. Like, you guys promised me a liver. We have to make a choice, Bob.
It's one liver, or a movie with 5 of our stories, directed by the director of Carousel. I mean,
We have to make the right choice, Bob. The responsible choice.
I just need a healthy hobo.
and if you want to help us deny Bob a new liver while creating a cinematic masterpiece, don't forget to check out the Indiegogo, where we are funding Shingles the Movie, which we still have a lot of fun perks and rewards for. And yeah, we have a great script, a great plan, and we really want to see it come together.
Yeah, that's assuming all the fun perks didn't sell out in Bob's drink a readathon.
That's true. We don't know how many people have looked it over and have gone hard for those, dildo nunchucks. So
No,
We don't know
no,
how many people
they're-
have tried
they're
to
all
kill
plotting
Bob.
against me. They're already saying, oh, hey guys, if you want to donate $20, spread it out over 2 hours or 2 chapters.
Your listener is already in the future. They have the power to go check out the YouTube, watch the readathon, see if Bevan's still alive, and if the movie still has some cool perks. You can go do that with the power of the internet. That is the luxury of living in the future.
Well, speaking of the future, I believe we are looking ahead to the season of fall that is coming up. And I have a thing I always look forward to when September rolls around. It is sadly a defining part of my life, and one of the ways I track the passage of time at this point, and that is the return of sitcoms.
Huh.
I don't know. Is the American TV schedule so rigid? Or is just when you decide to watch sitcom?
So shows
Yeah,
tend
this
to
is news to me.
shows. Well, I mean, it's a little different than it used to be because we have streaming stuff and shows drop whenever. But for cable, for regular syndicated TV, new seasons of shows start in the fall. They generally go until sometime around Christmas, then they have a break, and then and then the season finishes at some point in the spring.
That is spot on. And while some things drop en masse, like Netflix style, when you get to the cable series, like, for example, Bob's Burgers, one I greatly enjoy and look forward to, that comes on Sunday nights. So I can grab it if I have a cable streaming service or watch it on Hulu the next day. But that is still, I track it by knowing when Bob's Burgers will be available.
Man, I like Bob's Burgers too. I guess I just don't pay attention, and I never have. But I watch new episodes when my son says, "Hey, there's a new episode up."
TV is like functionally a third parent for me, so
I just
I ignore my other parents too, so
TV's the beloved parent.
I love this. I just don't care about it.
Oh no, I look forward to it. It's like I said, I've loved TV in all its many forms. And I especially look forward to September because it's when you get the new shows that come out and you kind of get to see if there's anything cool on the horizon. I miss when they used to do the most ridiculously overloaded, stupid thing. But when TGIF was running, every now and then they would take a chunk of the night and make the poor stars come in and like do pitches for all the shit that was coming out the next, this season, where they'd watch like previews and clips and talk about it, and it was horrible, but I also loved it because it was like, all right, cool, this is all the stuff that's coming out this year. It's a nice little presented package.
Yeah, sounds neat. It sounds like there's a system over there. That's a lot more organized. But then again, I could just, maybe there's a system in Britain too, and I'm just not paying attention. I'm pulling a Bevan over here.
I don't get the understanding that y'all quite do TV the same way, although that is predicated on very limited programs, so I could be talking out of my ass.
I think it's a case of, I don't know, I think we do start ramping up kind of, I guess, one-off dramas. Hey, we're doing a TV adaptation of this depressing crime novel about a child that's murdered. Coming this Christmas on ABC. Which, it's fall appropriate, so the seasons are changing. Bodies are starting to become noticeable, I guess. However crime works.
The corpses come out in the autumn.
It's like you're raking your lord. You say,
spring,
no.
Though,
yeah, that's spring when the snow melts.
Yeah, but then you need some time to, like, it's got to go through the papers, and then it's got
the corpses
a
in
novel.
The trees and like the leaves falling reveal.
Maybe. So they each poke at a tree, child corpse falls out. Oh no, it's that time of year again.
As we all know, British serial killers hide their kills in trees like leopards.
Look, there's a whole fucking genre about, true crime. That doesn't happen if criminals are smart. They hid his body so well we never discovered it. Wait a minute. Then who is narrating this documentary? Ooh, there you go. There's a Halloween twist. Also fall appropriate.
Where will we ever find the body? Maybe it's near that really smelly scarecrow that the birds are pecking at.
And in this edition of True Crime, a lot of people just chose not to be here anymore. We don't know where they went. No murders, no. It's going to be a slow TV season.
A bunch of people vanished, and then in the epilogue, 3,000 years later, we have bog mummies.
That's fine, yeah. So True Crime still exists, but it's all very archaeological. I know that would probably go down quite well. There's definitely an audience for that. So, there was a grisly murder that happened 700 years ago. No one gives a shit anymore, but we're going to talk about it for an hour.
Well, they used to have shows like that on on the History Channel back when they did history shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they don't do it.
I'm trying to say that Moonshiners isn't presenting a good history education.
I had a friend who insisted Moonshiners was real. I was like, yes, they're filming cops and they're filming the people they're hunting simultaneously.
I will say I do enjoy watching Moonshiners, but I just like watching people make moonshine. I think it's a fun process.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's kind of like professional wrestling. You take it with the grain of salt and you enjoy it for what it is.
With today's social media obsession and narcissism, that's not so far-fetched that you might be able to tune into both a policeman hunting a criminal and a criminal, just documenting himself robbing a 7-Eleven or something.
I mean, the first part is what started the reality TV show movement.
Yeah, it was Cops.
The show Cops.
That's true. And you wouldn't have had Cops without the guy robbing the 7-Eleven, so...
Cops
once
is more
again
focused on the guy in the A-frame T-shirt making a run for it along the ditch.
I'm trying to say that once again, TV innovation is spurred entirely by crime.
You guys got any shows that you're looking forward to coming back in the fall?
Well, Drew, I was a little bit, I'm a little bit flung out because I thought Shang-Chi was going to be another Disney Marvel TV series.
Oh, no.
It's not, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah, so, well, there goes my fucking plans then. I thought I was going to have 6 weeks of intrigue, and now I'm going to have two hours of being in a room with people coughing at me. So
I did see an ad for that, and that's as much as I'm going to see.
Yeah, I really want to go see it. I think we talked about this a little before, but there's Delta in Texas. Well, there's Delta all over, but I live in Texas, where let's just say there's not a lot of trust where my fellow moviegoers would be concerned.
Yeah.
I like wuxia bullshit in general, but I don't know. I'm not super excited about Shang-Chi as part of the Marvel universe. I think I'm going to save up my enthusiasm for multiple Spider-Mans.
Well, I've heard they do actual good martial arts fight scenes in Shang-Chi, which has me interested in it, and would be a bit of a nice change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about it. I've heard like some early reviews are saying that's pretty good. So, in terms of shows I'm looking forward to the second half of Masters of the Universe, which I can say because Rick's not here. I like the first half, and I think the second half it's probably going to drop in the second half of the year. It's something.
Oh, I didn't get past the first episode of that, so I couldn't be bothered. Do I have it in me to watch another He-Man iteration? I'm a middle-aged man. And I thought, no, I don't.
Well, and there was no Gwildor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve has a firm
Fuck
rule.
that noise.
It's got to have Gwildor. He's out.
Just a Gwildor spin-off. Some kind of Gwildor restaurant review program. Me. Gwildor could meet up with celebrities, eat at certain chain restaurants, ruin everyone's day.
I was just going to say, it would only work with that actor, and I can't imagine he's still alive.
You never know.
He struck me as semi-immortal. He's probably still around.
Still wearing the Gwildor costume.
It's rotting off his bones, but he's still wearing.
I didn't really like He-Man, the cartoon as a kid. Just, I don't know, it hit me at the wrong age bracket time or whatever. So I didn't watch it, but I have watched Masters of the Universe a few times for various funny screenings. So I think I've seen the Dolph Lundgren He-Man more than any other version, if you count the hours.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a terrible He-Man position to be in. I watched the early 2000s remake when I was a largely drunk college student. I thought, well, this is what He-Man should have been. It's just, it starts like it does the, "Hi, I'm Prince Adam. This is Cringel, my fearless friend." But in the 2000 one, that's as far as he gets before Skeleton just starts blowing shit up and heavy metal starts playing. Yeah, that's exactly what He-Man should have been. So,
what a fucking turn!
Yeah, exactly. It just mimics the first one, tone and everything. Background. "Hi, I'm Prince Adam." Boom! Fuck you. Skeletor's here. Now we're serious. Yeah, so it didn't
I
quite
haven't
live
seen
up
this,
to
but
that.
it sounds kind of awesome.
It's good.
It was kind of awesome.
It's good.
Okay.
The other shows I'm looking forward to, apparently The Witcher is coming back at some point, and I just saw the trailer today for the Wheel of Time adaptation, and that looks pretty solid.
I never got into Wheel of Time. I kept on meaning to check it out.
I didn't either.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I tried to read the first book, and it was boring.
Oh, well, maybe TV will make it less boring.
Perhaps.
There's something TV's good at, just kind of cutting around the boring bits. Always what it should be good at, theoretically.
Oh my god, I looked up that that intro that Steve talked about. It really is just right in.
I love it. It's like, "Hey kids, you remember He-Man? Boom! Fuck you!" So yeah, I got expectations, and the first episode of Masters of the Universe did not quite meet those expectations. So I'll keep my nostalgia where it belongs.
Sure.
Oh, I think new episodes of Owl House are coming. I've really enjoyed that. I caught up on it recently, and damn, that's a very fun show.
I've heard
Owl House.
It's basically a spiritual successor to Gravity Falls, right?
In a lot, I guess in some ways, it's got, I guess, a similar. Yeah, I can see the art style similarities. It does the overarching mystery. It's super character driven. Yeah, it's a really, really well done show.
It sounds like a sort of children's show set in the Twin Peaks universe.
Well, that was Gravity Falls.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls.
I've never heard of this, but I really liked Gravity Falls.
Owl House is about a young girl who ends up in a demon land called the Boiling Isles, working for this witch called the Owl Lady because she wants to learn magic.
That's
And
dope as hell.
stealing shit from humans and selling it at a cheap fare and scraping to get by. Think It's Always Sunny level scams but not the hardcore shittery.
There's got to be some scammer we can compare it to that's not It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, as soon as I went to, that's just my my go-to scraping to get by, slumming it thing, and I was like, but that's cutting a weird check. Although I would watch that show. I would watch an animated
absolutely.
It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, and there's just supernatural elements to it. It's like they're actually in hell rather than metaphorically.
Speaking of, I am definitely looking forward to whenever we get a new season of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, I mean, the last season, they tried some new things I'm generally not a fan of. I mean, how many seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Where they've
14 so far.
They never have to really push the format at all because it's just such solidly good writing. But the last season, it was like, yeah, we're going to try some different things. And normally when a sitcom does that, it shits the bed entirely. Looking at you, Arrested Development. But no, the last season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, clearly getting around some logistical problems with one of the cast members kind of stepping away, semi. But good. Enjoyed it very much. Yeah, I'd be looking forward to the next problematic excursions of that show. Be it a children's cartoon or not.
I haven't watched that in ages. I didn't realize it was still going.
Actually, the longest running live action sitcom now.
That's weird, really, because it's still very subversive.
Yeah, they haven't really lost the thread or anything. I actually just rewatched it this year as a show to have on in the background, and it holds the fuck up.
It's still very, for something that's so, I mean, everybody kind of knows what it is. It's been running that long. The people who are in it are megastars now, and it's still really countercultural. I think my favorite episode of it, and it was at the height of its popularity, is them just doing an entire episode, which is just a very thinly veiled fuck you to television awards and why they didn't have one.
Oh yeah, Charlie at the end.
Just literally spitting on people.
Oh yeah, god damn, that show's good.
It is.
Speak similarly to it, AP Bio has a new season coming out, which is a fun one with, I can't remember the actor's name suddenly, but he plays Dennis.
Patton Oswalt.
No?
Oh shit! I thought. Well, I haven't.
Wait, that
I
is an
haven't seen
actor.
that, but I thought he
AP
was
Bio.
in it.
You are right about that, but he does not play Dennis.
I don't know who the fuck Dennis is. I've never seen the show. I just knew he was in it. It's a show I've been interested in watching, but I keep forgetting it exists.
You mean Glenn Howerton? The guy.
Yes, Glenn Howerton.
He is a gem of a human being. He's been playing my favorite narcissistic sociopath for so long that I'm not sure if I can think of him in any other kind of role.
Well, good news, you don't have to with AP Bio.
Good. Excellent. That's what I come to television for. Just more of the same but different.
I realize not many people watched it, and that's a bit of the running joke, but Rob McElhenney's show, Raven Quest, was actually pretty damn fun.
I did watch the first season of that.
I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
I enjoyed the first season. I tried to get into the second one, but it didn't hold up for me.
Yeah, the second one was not as strong. I kind of plowed through to the end, and it did have a fun ending, but they committed a pretty straightforward cardinal sin.
Uh-oh.
When you have two characters with great chemistry, don't take them apart.
Oh, yeah.
That makes it less fun to watch.
I mean, that also makes more sense than what I was thinking. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that sounds like an odd thing to do in the second season.
Yeah, and it was weird because like they were both showing up on camera because I was thinking like maybe it's a pandemic thing, and I was like, all right, in that case you got to cut the slack, you do what you got to do to film in the circumstances. But like they were showing up in the same room and shit. And I was like, okay, so it couldn't have been that.
Yeah, I'm always slightly intrigued as to creative decisions that are widely kind of informed by what you suspect is behind the scenes fuckery. Like, and you're going to see a documentary in 5 years' time, and only like the kind of like in the old days, you only ever found this out of really popular shows. But now with the internet and people's thirst for pointless content that neither enriches their lives nor forwards their understanding of anything, you always kind of find out that like, oh yeah, the reason that season felt weird is because such and such was on a lot of cocaine and made a really awkward pass at such and such an after party. So there was a lot of legal stuff going on, and it was a nightmare. Anyway, we're glad you enjoyed it.
It's sad that like as I was laughing, I was like, oh, this is good hyperbole, and then I started thinking about some of the examples of shows that had friction that I knew about, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, while I was saying that, I thought I should think of a funny example, and I thought, oh, when you get right down into it, it's not that funny.
And there's too many examples.
Yeah, it's a constant horror show of egotistical fuckwits doing problematic things, which I like. When it's happening in fiction, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia seems to have the opposite thing going on. All the problematic shit happens in the fictional side of it. Everybody seems to be getting along quite well behind the scenes. So maybe there's a lesson to be learned there. I don't know. I'm not your spiritual leader. You figure it out.
I'll tell you one other thing I'm looking forward to about fall is the return of ciders.
Ooh, I mean, I've not stopped drinking cider in
No,
the slightest.
but like Washington
Yeah.
State is like an apple capital, so we have a ton of cider companies here.
Ooh, okay. Oh, you got like some good like local shit.
Yeah, we got a really good look. We actually, my wife, as a gift this year, got me a cider sampler pack from several. Like, it's basically a bunch of local breweries sold like to support pandemic stuff, pandemic relief. They sold cases of just like basically mixed grab bags of local ciders.
Oh, God, that sounds amazing. I was in your neck of the woods. I can't remember if it was Portland or Seattle because both of those places sell legal edibles.
Yeah.
But it was one of those places where I went to a cider-specific bar that was truly, I think, the best cider I've ever had. They just had all these specific like homemade things they had done. The one that stuck with me was a specific type of pineapple preparation method that made the cider taste like charred pineapple with brown sugar and cinnamon on it.
Oh damn.
Yeah, like it had that caramelization in the flavor, and I hate myself because I was really high and I don't remember anything about that place, what name of the damn cider was, even the term for like what they said about the pineapple. It's all like there but fogged over, so it's like I'm never gonna find it again. I don't even remember if it was Seattle or Portland.
The best cider I've ever had was in Spokane, Washington in 2015. I don't remember the name, for which I'm like eternally pissed. But the flavor was baked apple, so it literally tasted like 11% ABV apple pie in a glass. It. I had one and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm a lightweight, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'll have another one. Oh, I'll have another one, and then like a few moments later, it all hit me at once, and I was like, woo!
Yeah, that apple pie shit is dangerous. I was at a crawfish boil where someone brought moonshine with that flavor, and that was a fucking shit show.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of when we say sort of like modern generic cider in the UK, that there are some cider producing regions here where it's very kind of traditional throughout the ages. I think the idea is that like you get generic cider, which is fine and nice, but then you get kind of the locally brewed shit, which is just designed to destroy you. And you go in and say, oh, this looks interesting. They'll say, well, it is interesting. In the same way that A prostate exam is interesting, but
Shit.
Jeez.
they say, like, oh, can I get a pint of that? They say, no, you can't. You can have half a pint of that because I don't want to clear up your puke. So,
God damn.
so I want you to piss yourself after you leave. So we've got to time this right.
Jesus. I'm both terrified and intrigued by British ciders now.
Look, you're out in the countryside. There's not a lot to do. Why fuck around? Just bring me the sweet oblivion. Sweet apple oblivion, please.
That's actually not a bad name for a cider.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, what do we have out in the British countryside? Well, we have melancholy and we have apples.
Well, it's dark. Oh well, let's speed this along.
Let's get to next summer already. Everybody drink. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, they're agricultural folks. Not a lot to do after the harvest, I guess.
Oh, British time travel. Oh, but that puts a real spin on Doctor Who.
No, he was like, he lives in a phone box, Drew. There's no way he wasn't an alcoholic. He's just a fucking drunk carrying around a screwdriver living in a phone box. Oh, I'm going to go to caveman times. Yeah, okay, man. Keep away from me.
The new Doctor is just whatever vagrant moves into the phone box next.
Yeah, that's what the quote-unquote regeneration is.
Shit.
So, oh no, Jimmy died. Well, the phone box is available. I guess I'm quote-unquote the doctor now. The doctor's assistant is just some terrified person who walked down the wrong alleyway and is too afraid to leave.
That's better on the inside! Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's so spacious in here. Please don't stab me. Please don't stab me.
Too much space. Oh, God. I guess that's more of a winter thing, but there is... Oh, no, they stopped doing the Doctor Who Christmas special.
Did they?
Yeah, because they did a New Year's one, like, 2 years ago or last year.
Well, I think it's still generally kind of like, yeah, it's nearly Christmas. It's New Year's. I think they've stopped doing Doctor Who for a while, so...
Wasn't that just how y'all do things? Like, you do a season, and then there's a big break, and it's not quite conscripted to the September cycle like ours is?
Yeah, it depends what... Generally in sitcoms, it's like, okay, you can get a season. It's like, oh, that did well. Okay, now you can have a season and a Christmas special. Oh, that did well. Okay, now you don't get anything else.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't pretend there's another season.
Yeah, either America buys it and you get to feel good about that, or it doesn't, and we all just quietly forget about this thing we very much enjoyed. I don't know why we're punishing ourselves, but...
Time to drink another cider.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd love to renew your sitcom, but I am drunk.
I gotta go meet a guy in a post box about an operation.
See you in the spring.
He's gonna do an appendectomy on me with his screwdriver.
Good luck with the Christmas special.
He
Bye-bye.
told me he was a doctor.
Doctor Who, doesn't matter. Man, this will make a great TV program. Ah, my spleen!
On the subject of Hollywood egos and us taking British shows, I like listening to nonfiction audiobooks, so I have listened to the making of, or like the whole story of The Office. Like the conception, the casting, etc. There's a whole great audiobook on it. I haven't watched all of The Office because I don't especially care for it, but I have now listened to basically every detail of its creation through the years, and I thought it was worth noting. Steve Carell, immaculate reputation for professionalism.
I believe that.
He strikes me as that, yeah.
Yeah. Very, like, just everyone in the book, very, just, like, wonderful guy, very nice, came in ready to go, did his stuff, went home to his family.
Strikes me as the kind of guy who turns up 5 minutes early, but doesn't go through the door. He waits till it's the exact time and then goes through the door. I always got that vibe from Steve Carell. Not in a dick way. Not that he'd never let you know that he does that. It's just if the meeting starts at 9, Steve Carell's going to be there at 9.
Yeah.
So that's reassuring. I'm glad to find out he's not some cocaine-addled sex pest. That's reassuring.
No one else got universal praise.
My son's going through a second rewatching of The Office.
I've never watched it.
You make it sound like you're conditioning him for something.
This is on him. I only come in from the garage every now and again, and I'll if it's a funny scene, I'll hang around for it. But no, he's got his thing going.
If you're in Britain and you say, "Oh, I'm going to watch through The Office again," you're like, "Okay, well, that's a fun evening." But isn't there like 10 seasons?
Well, yeah, because that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying he's doing it today. This is an ongoing process.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a month-long commitment to do a second watch for something. Which, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an impressive feat, especially slogging through the later seasons.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's a fine show and everything. It just went hard on the cringe comedy, which is not something I enjoy as much. So
Yeah.
it didn't catch my affection there.
Yeah, I have to watch out for comedy that's based on characters like miscommunicating and being horribly embarrassed.
Well, I think that was
steer
kind of
clear.
the beauty of the original Office was like they somehow managed to foist the entire embarrassment onto the audience. I just remember watching this clearly fictional program, going, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed for that guy right now." So I guess it's entirely successful in that regard, but not a feeling I enjoyed, so I didn't kind of keep up with it.
It's kind of, I think, why I also skipped the first season of Parks and Rec when they were imitating sort of the more office-y style and vibe and everything. When they shifted out, I liked it a lot more.
Yeah, it got a lot more watchable.
Yeah, I never made it to the second season because I didn't enjoy the first.
You're missing out.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I bailed on it too, and then I caught an episode of like season 3 a few years later, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? And why is it funny?"
Just sitting in the writer room. Okay, plot twist. Why don't we be funny?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when season 2 starts, it kind of felt like they did that. It's like, hey guys, what if we did it, but good?
We got a foot in the door. Now let's do something that's actually amusing. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ted, let me remind you, we are a network.
Oh man, I also rewatched some 30 Rock, and that show, I forgot how like fucking out of the gate blazing they came. Like the first episode's a little weak. Every pilot is. That's the nature of pilots. But like within 5-6 episodes, they have just the most fucking stuff you would be expecting in like late seasons, but it's great and it works.
Nice. Okay.
Just confident. Like there's a reason that show is remembered as a classic for at least the early seasons.
You know what? I might spend the fall catching up on some classics because I was glad I did that for Parks and Rec because I didn't want to watch it. It's like, don't tell me what's a classic. If it's got more than 12 episodes, I don't want to know. But I just chugged through Parks and Rec. Same with Community, came to that late, and thus was able to chug through it. And that's good. When sometimes when everyone says this is a classic and it's great, and I quietly think, oh fuck you. But then I watch it all in like a month, and it is. And because I said oh fuck you in my head, I don't have to apologize for anything. I don't think TV experience gets better than that, really. So.
Yeah. Have you tried 30 Rock?
Oh, fuck you.
There it is. I'll look forward to your thanks later. Damn, that's a fun one.
See, I've already publicly acknowledged a fuck you, so I've already taken that discreet little pleasure away from myself. I've already sullied this experience. Such is the life, I suppose, of a respected media commentator.
It could be worse. We could be trying to make you watch Ted Lasso.
Which one's Ted Lasso?
That's the one where the American football coach goes over to coach, football.
Oh, I've heard it's really good, but
Oh, it
you
is.
know,
Yeah, that
I
one's
just
fun.
assumed you would be very resistant to that one.
yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ignore your recommendation for 3 years and then reluctantly watch it and really enjoy myself. That's
There's always
my long-term plan.
there's always Letterkenny.
Oh God, yeah.
That's such a good show.
Yeah, I got into that. The badinage on that, if you try to like splurge the entirety of Letterkenny, it's actually quite hard work. Can't really just relax. They're talking too fast. There's a
Yeah.
lot of sweet badinage going on. It is good. There's some solid. I was watching that and thinking, man, how does anyone get this good? How do you just sit down and go, I'm going to write 3 consecutive pages of funny dialogue without any commas? It's impressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just remember because I spent because it takes place in rural Canada, which is very similar to rural Washington, which is where I lived as a teenager, and basically I spent most of the first season going, "Oh, I know that guy. I know that guy. Yep, I know that guy." Like, wow, this could be Centralia, Washington. Jesus, I know that guy.
It's a fundamental difference between American comedy and British comedy and Canada, which manages to comfortably straddle both approaches, is you could not have a genuine comedy in England about somebody who's the toughest guy in his town and genuinely is the toughest guy in his town and spends like 8 seasons beating the shit out of people. In England, it would be like somebody who thinks they're the toughest guy in their town, but just isn't and just gets embarrassingly beaten up all the time. So we wouldn't be able to do that. That would, that's it's just beyond us. Also, it would have been 12 episodes long for the Christmas special.
Let's bring it back.
As for streaming, there are, I don't know. Yeah, I could fill my my darkening evenings with just chugging over classic American sitcoms that I refused to watch when they came out. I probably will do that. But there's a couple of new things I'm interested in, and I've seen the trailer for brand new Cherry Flavor on Netflix. It's got a woman from Alita Battle Angel in it, and
Okay.
it just looks fucked up. And that's all I've really got. That's as much as I've looked into it. It's got somebody I recognize from a movie, and it looks fucked up.
I am looking forward to the Wheel of Time. The trailer just dropped today. I think I mentioned that already.
Yeah, that's that does well. There's like 8, isn't there like 8 books or something in the Wheel
No,
of
it's
Time?
like 12. It's
like
absurd.
big thick
Oh, man.
books as well. So if they pull off season 1, somebody's got a job for 10 years.
We're we're only a few days out for one on Netflix I've been looking forward to for a while. Kate, the movie starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead as it's basically Crank, but with Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, she's like an assassin.
Poisoned. Yeah, the synopsis: she gets poisoned and she has like a day to kill all the people who killed her.
Oh, it's like, what would you do with your last day on Earth? Vengeance. Nice.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's basically Mary Elizabeth Winstead taking the Charlize Theron career turn, but like maybe a decade earlier in her life.
I mean, after seeing her in Birds of Prey, I'm super jazzed for it.
It sounds amazing. I still need to see Birds of Prey. Me and not watching.
That
movies.
one's on HBO Max now.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, there's a new season of Lower Decks, which I am enjoying. I begrudgingly grabbed a month of Paramount Plus so I could watch season 2 of that.
Oh, I'm never going to watch Lower Decks. That is something I'm going to definitely not watch. I was so, I don't know, insulted by the trailer for it. Just thought, I can't remember what the comedic climax of the trailer was, but I think it was them singing a song about a blast shield and the blast shield going up and the blast shield going down. Like, I don't really want to watch a Star Trek adventure about a toddler in a grown human's body. So I just noped out that. I'm genuinely surprised to hear that people are enjoying it, but
now I'm not much of a Trek person, but I have friends who are, and apparently it's a very faithful Star Trek story, just with a slightly comedic slant. I don't know the scene you're talking about from the trailer. I've seen the whole first season, and I have no recollection of that.
Well, maybe they heard me loudly complaining about it, Drew, and thought maybe we should nix that. Maybe we should get rid of that scene.
No, it's a pretty fun, like it pokes fun at a lot of the Star Wars or Star Trek, cliches and tropes and spoofs, but it doesn't make the mistake of going full not another blank movie. It's more like Mel Brooks parody where, yes, they're fucking around, but they're ultimately always going to stay true to and respect the source.
Oh, well, that already puts it in a higher standing than Picard, so...
Yeah, that's what I've been told, is it's a very faithful-ass show.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's unusual, then. What a twisted mirror universe we're living in, where the comedy cartoon is a more faithful adaptation than the last two live-action Star Trek attempts.
That's why I was really confused when you were like giving the description. I was like, that is not at all the show, man.
Yeah, but that's...
Oh no, a bad trailer can
somebody
destroy
cut
it.
the trailer together. They made that decision.
Yeah, I think I saw the same trailer Steve saw, and I too had no interest in seeing the show.
Oh, I didn't see that trailer, and that might be why I checked it out.
I know, I was insulted. Like, I'm a Star Trek fan, god damn it. Who do you think you're talking to?
Ironically, the show would have been perfect for you.
No, you made a terrible
I'm not a
first
big
impression.
Star Trek fan, but I am also not a not funny comedy fan.
Well, if anyone out there's watching or listening, it's a pretty fun show.
That's what I've heard. Like I said, I'm also on team.
I hate CBS's horseshit streaming dickery with a lot of my heart, and I'm still paying a goddamn $5 a month to watch this fucking show.
Well, that sounds like a good recommendation for Star Trek fans then. I've got a good recommendation. If you're not a Star Trek fan and you just vaguely heard of it in memes and stuff, watch Picard.
Is Picard bad? It's on there because I have the Paramount, so I was like, oh, I guess I should check that out.
I don't know. There's a lot of people. It was the same with Discovery, the last one. They were like, finally, a Star Trek I can watch. And a lot of people who liked Star Trek going, oh, well, we already had Star Trek we could watch. That was sort of what we've been a fan of for the last 20 years. And you've turned it into some sort of hyper-emotional, angry, action-based soap opera. And Picard was just weird. You know, Patrick Stewart is a very old man. And maybe you should just leave him alone.
Maybe let him stick to voice acting. He's great on American Dad. Let the man rest.
I don't know if he's even up for voice acting now. I mean, going just by what I saw in Picard, he looked very tired. He looked like he needed a nice sit down.
Oh, goodness. It's weird to say, but I feel like the Orville might be the most modern adaptation of Star Trek based on what I know, because they at least devoted episodes to things like diplomacy and ethical discussions and
True.
Not like punching things in the face wasn't the answer all the time.
That's so 10 years ago. These days, if you are in the Space Force, what you do is you cry, mumble some vaguely scientific shit, and you blow something up. That's how you deal with it.
That does sound more Star Trek-y, doesn't it?
You just usher Patrick Stewart into the middle of the room, give him a speech that might make sense in another context of an entirely different program, and then have some people do some acrobatic kung fu around him. That is how we deal with space diplomacy these days.
I have a lot of friends who like Picard, but it seems to be hit or miss with folks. So
I think if you've watched kind of TNG and you watch Picard, you think, well, that's not Picard. But if you watched maybe the last 3 TNG movies and then watch Picard, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is fine.
I've heard that before. That TV Picard is a master diplomat, and movie Picard is like, yee, explosions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard a rumor that this was because Patrick Stewart was like, well, I'm the big star now. I should be doing action things, right? And they just went, yeah, sure, because we're here to make money. And this is a movie. This isn't Nerd Town anymore. This is for real people. Let's hit those weights, Patrick Stewart. So yeah, if you didn't mind that kind of huge basic portrayal of what made TNG great. Well, season 3 onwards. Yeah, you'll probably like Picard. If you don't give a shit, you'll probably like Picard. Who gives a shit anymore? No one gives a shit anymore. Watch what you like. I don't give a fuck.
This got dark. Like the autumn.
Yeah, it's the turning of the seasons. We're all going to die soon. Watch Picard.
Like the alleged turning of the seasons. It's 90 degrees still.
You can watch Picard, you'll either enjoy it, you won't know what the fuck's going on, or you'll be filled with faint disgust at the world. Either way, at least you're feeling something, aren't you? So, get into it. Have an emotion.
Have feelings.
Anyway, Bevan, what are you looking forward to?
I guess the Rick and Morty season finale.
I haven't been watching the latest season. How's that going? You were kind of
Not
a little
well.
bit cold.
No, I haven't been enjoying it too much. It's not only the most recent episode is the one I've watched more than once. There's,
Oh yeah,
lot
the
going on in that
bird
one.
person one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a really solid one. I feel like the early ones were kind of interesting too. Once they got to the giant sperm one, I was kind of like, all right.
I've never watched Rick and
That's-
Morty, so
I don't know. That's the only funny thing I can remember. Not the giant sperm itself, but that Morty was making use of a horse masturbator machine.
I mean, I haven't seen this out of context. This makes no sense to me.
How does that not make sense?
What was the horse giant? What is the connection here?
No. I'm saying, forget the giant sperm. Just the fact that Morty was making use of a horse masturbator machine was funny to me.
Okay. I don't know if I can forget the giant sperm. That seems to be...
Forget the giant teeth mouth sperm.
Alright, well, this is like the pink elephant game, isn't it? Because don't think about the giant sperm with teeth. Like, now that's all I can think about.
I guess we should probably talk about non-TV fall things. We really sank
Oh,
into a
must we?
genre there.
Must we, Drew?
Yeah, this is what happens. The weather turns cold, and you just go inside and watch TV and wait for spring.
That's true. It is true. Is anybody gonna watch a sport? I got told there's like football starting
Nope.
again. Yeah. I did fantasy football with my friends a few years back. That kind of got fucked over because, COVID and everything. And we didn't reform this year. But I might try again for the next one because that made football season more enjoyable for me. I could throw it on in the background and have some level of interest.
that makes sense.
It's like gambling without money.
Not a sports guy. Just finished, been tuning into the Olympics. Been tuning into the Paralympics. It's nice to see people kind of like super achieving at things I don't care about. So I'm glad there are people who are really good at running in the world and jumping over stuff. It makes me feel better about not doing any of those things in any capacity. As long as there are people out there doing it and being good at it, I can rejoice in the physical animal of humanity happening in the world. I don't have to be. I can just be a big slothful hypocrite about things and enjoy it on that level. I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's a reason to get into sport. I don't know. Maybe I should just appreciate the fact that somebody's outside.
See, I actually, so like, again, it rains here from almost all of autumn and winter, but that doesn't generally slow me down. I'm usually outside for a long walk every day, and I really like my ideal temperatures are between like 50s and 60s Fahrenheit, because then it's cool enough. It's not freezing, but it's cool enough that you can do things without getting super fucking sweaty. And autumn is all of that. Plus, I get to make my extremely boozy mulled wine and share that with people.
That does sound nice.
Mind you, Bevan, I get the impression from you that the heavily sweating is what you like about going for a walk. So is that like
No.
a disadvantage for you?
That's
just the impression I
no,
got.
no, I don't like heavily sweating. I just, I like summer.
It's okay if you
And
do.
just all right, lesser degrees of sweat on my shirt means that summer is fading. I don't actually like the sweat.
You just miss what the sweat represents.
Right. It's like if I look at a thermometer, I don't like the rise of mercury. I like the temperature.
Okay.
Mercury.
Well, we're getting kind of.
It makes
poetic
Joe
about
hard.
things. Look at that mercury rise. Autumn is coming. The leaves are falling off the trees, and I'm sweating 20% less. Just thought, it was wrapped up in the seasonal imagery for you.
No, it actually is more pleasant. Yeah, it's a little cooler now, but it just reminds me of what's to come.
How is winter in Jordan down there?
I guess pretty cold.
Okay.
We occasionally get snow, but we always get weather that could be snow.
What?
That's an interesting sentence.
All right.
This
We get
could be snow.
temperatures that could produce snow, but usually don't.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. So you
Sorry,
have the potential
I was distracted
for snow.
because my last recording started again in my ears.
I don't think it's anything to do with your recording. I think you're having a psychotic episode, because this has happened a few times now.
Well, yeah, because the recording thing has happened. All right, whatever. You know what? You don't believe me? I don't give a shit.
No, I believe you. I've been in Florida in November, and I've actually seen frost on the ground.
And your recording started playing back in your ears.
No.
We're talking about that now. We're talking about other fall things now, Joe, when your computer is filled with ghosts.
That's not a fall thing. That's year round.
Not for you, it's not. Non-TV things, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to, I guess, walking around, looking at the trees die. It's pretty. It's not quite winter yet. It's not quite the true dark. But mostly, I don't think I'm going to be leaving the house all that much. I mean, I haven't left the house all that much for quite some time now, so I don't think the fact that it's colder and darker is going to entice me away from the cozy warmth of my cave of solitude.
Oh, one thing I'm looking forward to on a personal level, 8D6, my short story collection just went live, and soon Critical Failures 9 will come out, so staving off poverty for a few months will be nice.
Oh yeah, it's true. We are supposed to talk a little bit about projects. I laid that good lord, what's the word? Hint, call ahead, breadcrumb, something like that, way at the front. I'm looking forward to getting Spells, Swords, and Stealth number 5 out. It is running longer than I expected, which is, I'm sure, annoying in the sense that it'll be a little bit more before it comes out, but, folks tend to enjoy the longer books, so I think all in all it'll be a happy trade-off.
Yeah, I've got nothing. I say nothing pressing. I do have something pressing. I'm supposed to be working on this joint project with Rick, but I keep getting derailed by other things. But now that the Shingles, the movie project is out there, and presumably by the time this goes live, fully funded and off my plate and put into the capable hands of Steve Kaczynski.
I want to say before you go on, you're welcome.
In the perfect future in which this is released next Wednesday and Bevan is still alive and the movie is fully funded. I mean, I didn't say it was a likely future that both of those things will happen, but let's just say they do. Then, I've got the winter to work on these outstanding projects, so definitely give the Rick project its due. It's finally give that some proper space. And I still have my Plexit sci-fi going on. That's about halfway finished. And who knows, maybe I'll listen to all the people who tell me that I should write a follow-up to Shoot the Dead. I don't know if I ruined this for people earlier, but I'm not great at listening to people. People say, you should write Shoot the Dead. It's like, I'm saying it's like, yeah, I definitely should, and I really want to, but part of me is going, fuck you.
I am plugging away on Drifting Lands 3, and I have a November deadline for that, and I'm hoping to meet it, but, one of the problems right now is it's really fucking hard to write an optimistic story at the moment.
And I don't know if autumn kind of, I don't know if that helps. It's like, summer is over, and here comes the darkness. Also, I have a deadline, and there's a pandemic on. But hey, let's keep it light.
Yeah, I feel that. Working on Fred 7, which the Fred books kind of require a certain level of upbeatness and optimism, that took a little more focus than it might have in previous years, because I was writing that, in 2020 into 2021, pre-vaccine times. Yeah.
Luckily, I'm just kind of a naturally bitter person, so it's not going to affect my comedic stylings.
Yeah, my stories go where they go.
At least we can all look forward to the Shingles the Movie Indiegogo running for the next... Oh, God, I was trying to calculate the number of days from when this drops, but the hell with it. The next 35 as of this recording. Yeah.
Yeah, by the time you listen to this, about 30 days left. We should be about halfway through. If it's not fully funded, you can hold Bevan and Tyler responsible. I'm enjoying this the fundraising process. I've been enjoying this entire process. We've been percolating this for a while now, ever since we saw Carousel. Like, can we do a Shingles movie? Should we do a Shingles movie?
Would anyone be willing to do a Shingles movie with us?
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could.
Yeah, so we've gone through all that kind of exciting phase of discovery and the launch, and now we're trying to, I guess, infect people with that enthusiasm we've been building up via the internet.
I want to say that. I want to say this on the air. It was so weird. Like I announced this that I was going to do this thing this Saturday, and my Facebook page blew up. A bunch of likes, bunch of comments, and all that shit. And like, why? These people have never expressed interest in Shingles before. What's going on?
People like live theater, man.
All right,
people are jaded.
I've been doing things all wrong.
They don't want.
It's got other ideas brewing in my head.
They just want to stare at you drinking in your garage for 3 hours.
I'm glad you brought up the live reading thing, Bevan, because I did want to mention you might not want to enable the multi-stream onto Facebook for that particular event, because just knowing the content of some of the Shingles books, I think that might get taken down pretty quickly.
That's a badge of honor if you get Zuckerberg.
Yeah. I think you might read the title of the first book and get nixed.
Not at all.
Excellent.
No way. No, it's not going to happen.
Boop.
It'll be fine. This is
that's what YouTube
wholesome
and Twitter
quality
for.
content. Yeah. Yeah, and then I think part of that, Bevan, is that social media is fucking bullshit for promoting yourself. I've sort of apologized for this before to anyone who's listening. There are two types of people listening to this right now. People are saying, I'm so fucking tired of these guys talking about the Shingle movie crowdfunder. And people saying, holy shit, what's Shingles?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, that just seems to be how promotion seems to work. Either social media is heavily bent towards people with money, and I don't believe that for a second. That just seems very cynical of me. Or like, people just have tremendous blind spots that they've developed because they're constantly bombarded by advertising. So it might be both those things.
I mean, we talked about this on Brodio, but we've been doing this podcast for over 6 years now, and it seems like every few months we'll encounter someone who has been reading my books and Bob's books and John's and Rick's and Joe's and like all that stuff separately, and then we'll be like, wait, y'all do a podcast? It's like, oh god damn.
I have a theory. Not just for that, for people, even people listening to the podcast. I've seen the stats. I know how many people kind of like generally listen to this podcast every week. It's a pretty good number. And if everybody listened to this podcast went, you know what, I'm going to donate to the Shingles movie crowdfunder, we'd probably be able to make 2 Shingles movies. But I have a theory that it's just like people tune in for their entertainment and they're so bombarded by advertisement in their real life constantly, all the time, that people have evolved a way to just like, okay, they're now not talking about the comedic adventures I have tuned in for. So I have been trained to just zone out. That's my theory. So
what you're saying is that on this next quest, the party needs to find a way to fund the Shingles the movie Indiegogo.
Yeah, that is
a native advertising that shit.
That is how real world advertising is going. On today's adventure, the magic and mystery of crowdfunding.
Will Fandango the Fantastical raise enough gold to fund Shingles the movie? That's really up to you, dear listener.
Oh no, Klaus is down. The only way to revive him is to send $20 to this link.
I think we're onto something here.
Yeah, I think we just discovered microtransactions for podcasts, and I hate us.
Yeah. I mean, if you're out there,
love us.
the fucking, microtransactions and, what a cynical world we live in. It's like, you're right, but you've had decades of advertising people trying to give you, like, to get you to spend your hard-earned money on shit you don't really need to. So like when we come along and say, look, can you give us some of your hard-earned money for shit you don't really need to give it to, but it'll be fun. I can understand
why. They don't know
they
need it, but they do.
Yeah, you don't know you need a Shingles movie, but all those other advertising people are quietly implying that you need such and such. They're wrong. We're right. You can trust us. But, I get it. You're an evolving animal. Humans are very adaptable. But, saying that, if you want us to start podcast microtransactions, if you choose your own adventure, but instead of like turn to page 36, it'll be donate $5 to this scenario. Oh god, somebody must have done that by now.
I hate to admit it, but I have a rough mental outline of how something like that would work. I've had since we did a YouTube thing. You could just present several options and have whatever, as people donate, they pick that option, and then after a set amount of time, whoever has raised the most, that's the option that gets picked.
I mean, when you put it like that sounds pretty cool. But that's just where we are now.
Not necessarily a main episode, but a specific fundraising episode.
In the old days, you could just like paint a sign and just say, buy soap. It's better than being filthy. And that's all you needed to do, But we're a complex animal now, living in a complex society.
So what Steve is saying is buy our Shingles the movie soap.
Yeah, it's not better than being filthy.
It's a different kind of filthy.
Yeah, it's a different kind of filthy. Get filthy. Donate to Shingles.
There you go. All right. Well, I think that covers both the Shingles movie and the fall season ahead. We didn't really touch on Halloween because, of course, we are saving that for its own specific content, because my God, we will go on about that shit. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week with a regular episode of Authors and Dragons. Until then, bye.
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 Goodbye.